Hello guys! Welcome to the new video. So today I wanna continue with the migraine series. In the last video I shared 10 tips on short-term work with migraines during the migraine itself. And today we're gonna look over 10 long-term tips on your migraine journey, on a self-healing journey, basically how to work with the whole migraine pattern and how to look at it as in advance before the migraine itself occurs. Basically understanding what is behind the migraine pattern and how you can reduce the pain long term and how you can lower the frequency of migraines. So welcome! First of all, you need to start working with yourself on your own migraine. The tip number 1 is look at responsibility, and specifically where you are taking over responsibility over other people, over their emotions, over their feelings. This is a very big topic, and at first it can be very subconscious. You might be in a situation where you feel like you are you are taking responsibility. You can be aware of that, but it can be on a level of the material world, of the physical world, and you can believe that this is how it is for you and you have to be in that situation. But the reality is you can be responsible for other people without taking the responsibility for their emotions, for their feelings, for their decision making. Usually it results in pain in the shoulders. It's called like the weight of the world on top of your shoulders, and then continues to the neck and up to the head, to the forehead. So what can help you in this topic of the responsibility is that you need to understand that if you are taking responsibility over someone's emotions and feelings, or like feeling bad for that and trying to prevent them from getting hurt, or doing something that will not hurt their feelings while at the same time you're hurting yourself, maybe, you can imagine that by that you are taking the power from them. So imagine a situation where you want someone to do something, okay, and if you don't let them the freedom to do it whenever they want, and in the end your patience is gone and you end up doing it for them, then you are taking away their power to decide if they want to do it, when they want to do it, if they're gonna do it, how they're gonna do it. So you are taking that power from them by doing it yourself, and as a result you're disabling them from having the freedom to decide for themselves. So yes, we can be taking responsibility over others for the very best reasons. We think this is the best thing for other people, and we can get into the mode of the victim. Maybe we've been a victim before, so we stayed in that pattern, and we believe that by doing things for others we're helping them, and at the same time we're suffering. So we're strengthening this feeling of like, I'll do it for you, and this way you don't have to do it, or you don't have to do it, and so you are good but I'm feeling bad. But in the end of the day we're only responsible for our emotions, for how we feel. We can control this by our mind, by inserting our thoughts that we choose into our mind, and long term, as we talked about, affirmations in the last video, long-term reprogramming your mind, and by that creating situations in your life, creating your reality. We need to understand that the way is the opposite way. If we want the best for others, we need to do the best for ourselves. This will result in the best for everyone in that situation. Maybe we've been taught in a way where putting others first before us seems like the way it is, the way to do it. That's just natural. But in the end, we are taking that power from them if we're doing the decisions for them, and also from us. Okay, so once you are not putting your needs first, you are taking the power from yourself, taking the energy, literally putting it out there, wasting your own energy. Not in a bad way, it's just neutral, but this is the way it is. So wasting your energy and then doing the things for them, so also taking the power from them. It is sometimes hard to see and just be there. The result can often be you've been used to doing more and more and more, but then now maybe the result will be suddenly you're supposed to do less and you're supposed to just be there and make them make the mistakes and make them figure out their lives. And this can be hard because you've been used to holding it all together, putting everyone's load on top of yourself and working like that, working. But life's not meant to be hard. And it can very first-hand confirmed become truly easy, and you can have everything while at the same time everyone in your life resulting in their own happiness, because that's everyone's choice in the end if they want to be happy or not. So back to migraines, this is a big part of the pattern, and this is something you should definitely look into. So this is the tip number 1. Okay, the tip number 2, a bit connected to the tip number 1, understanding your own emotions and feelings and taking them seriously. Again, maybe you've been raised in a way that your emotions and feelings didn't matter and what you felt wasn't real. But I can tell you that the journey towards creating your life, okay, what we're doing here is wanting to create your life, having everything easily, having everything come to you instead of working yourself down and believing that what other thing is happening to you, but instead creating from the inside, becoming responsible for yourself, for your own feelings, for your own emotions, for your own life, that what happens to you is what you created. Right. Maybe it wasn't relevant, maybe your feelings and emotions never were taken seriously, but now is the moment where you start taking them seriously. If you are serious about changing your life, about going on your self-discovery, self-healing journey, you need to start understanding what are your emotions, why are they there, and how you can work with them. Not suppressing them, but working with them, being in a flow, creating through them. All the emotions are good. There's no such thing as negative, positive. How you can express it safely, controlling it in a certain way, but in the state of being responsible for it. And acknowledging that you have these emotions and these feelings, because for a long time maybe you weren't even aware of them. So coming back and getting to know yourself and understanding why something activates you, and that's a great thing, why something creates the emotion over and over, why these situations keep happening. You learn who you are and what you actually want. You start understanding, okay, I can have whatever I want because I'm the one creating it. Well, how do I do that, you know? So it's a journey and it's step by step. Tip number three is about some traumas or your past that you're attaching yourself to. It did define you in a way. It depends on the situation itself. It's about how to love yourself through that and how to sometimes, it depends, but it can be about forgiving yourself for not being able to protect you and acknowledging that you did your best. Stepping out of the fear that it defines you so strongly that you can't have certain things, and in that case it limits you. The path is learning about the trauma, how stronger it made you, and that it defined who you are today, and it made you so much stronger, and you survived it for a reason. That reason is only known to you when you're ready to start looking into it and when you're looking at it yourself, because there can be a lot of subconscious patterns created from there that are maybe limiting you from having what you want right now, but they can also be protecting you. Stepping into this from a creator's point of view is very freeing and very liberating. So I'll leave it at that, and that's the tip number 3. Maybe I'll just add that it doesn't have to be painful to revisit that. It doesn't have to be hard to do this. With the right guidance, you can just understand and go on, but it depends what. Also, guidance with your intuition is very important in this one, and taking the time you need to process these things or experience these feelings that have been suppressed, or how to understand what happened there with you, with your emotions and feelings. Taking care of that version of yourself and giving it love and accepting it in order to stop it from limiting you or protecting you, because you can be also protecting yourself from having what you want, actually. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is about understanding where you allowed yourself to punish yourself, because migraine is a form of self-punishment. I'm sure this can seem very triggering, and it can be a painful thing to hear this, and believe me, it was for me. Yeah, hearing it was really hard for me, but then it was one clue on my path towards getting to where I am right now, and I wouldn't change that. So welcome anything that's triggering you, and be really grateful for something that's triggering you, because those are the things that maybe in a few years you will say, yes, I'm grateful for that message, because I haven't had any information before. This is why I'm also letting it out there to be accessible to you, whoever you are, and whoever, because I know back then I needed to hear this, but also wasn't ready to hear it. And then along the path it started making more and more sense that it's a form of self-punishment, and then understanding why and how I can change this, and how I can love myself and accept myself with all that I've been through, with the way I am, with everything. But really it's a step-by-step journey. I was only to think about the migraine in a different point of view, which is what I actually needed, because deep down I did believe that there's like a bigger message. I'm not meant for long-term suffering. It just like wouldn't make sense. Why would we come to this life to suffer? And so yeah, then it made a lot of sense. And once you start only opening yourself to the information, it starts coming to you, and slowly you will put together the picture you need for your journey. And I'm just here to tell you that it's okay, and I understand, maybe in a way. I can relate. So that's tip number 4. Tip number 5 is also a bit connected to tip number 4, because in the understanding of self-punishment and how to set yourself free from these patterns, there are also big energetical things going on, like a lot of them constantly. Everything's energy, and you have all the keys, actually. The impulses from the inside. You receive information through channeling, through intuition, then how you send it to the ground for it to manifest into your life, which means creating them or making them happen, basically. At a certain point where you've learned or you started feeling, and I think these tips are actually in a good order, step by step you start understanding your energy and you start feeling it. Because in the biggest peak of migraines, where all you feel is the pain, and maybe, I don't know if I mentioned it here, but maybe like 20 days a month, so it's like constant pain and that's all you can feel. That's the big like attack situation, I would say. That's the triggering. There is probably some situation, some relationship or something very strong going on in your life that's causing it or helping it to be triggered and to be caused. So of course, in that mode, that's like the survival mode, it's very important to disconnect yourself from that. Just physically, you have to do those changes. But you are also able to do this without separating yourself from that situation. I do recommend doing the energetical disconnection, and if you just open yourself to this, for sure a guidance will come to your life. Here it's about knowing about these options and opening these points of view. Again, you're giving the power to someone else to do something for you, then you're not being responsible for yourself, and it's not gonna resolve the problem. No one can basically fix the pattern for you, only you can do it. And if you give the power to someone to do some kind of energetical work that you don't agree with, then it's like harming yourself, harming your body. You should always be aware of what you're doing and how you're working with your energy, and taking as much time as you need. But only the belief that you can do something about it always, that's a great belief, I think. And this is the message I want to send here. So that's tip number 5. Tip number 6. It is also connected to the previous point, and I also mentioned it in a way, but understanding the flow of energy, giving and receiving, and it should be a harmonized flow. Check where you give more and learn to receive with love. Your body, if it's in pain, in any chronic pain, it is giving you signals that the harmony of giving and receiving is not balanced. And balance means in the way that it works for you. It doesn't mean like 50-50. No one's ever saying that. Every time there's gonna be someone helping you at that time. Like right now, you can receive this message and you will receive some vibration of my energy, and so you can also always receive something that's not possible for you to give back, but then you give back somewhere else. So the harmony of your life will be giving energy and receiving it. And if this is very disbalanced, I would balance in sense of some equilibrium, but harmonized in sense where it's good for me, where I feel comfortable in how much I give and how much I receive. And if I don't, then I need to look at that. What am I receiving? What am I not receiving? What am I giving? What am I not giving? And this can relate to any topic of your life. It can be in a relationship with the partner. It can be in a relationship with your family members. It can be in terms of money, because money is also energy and it's a flow. So if you don't have enough money, then you're not receiving it. You're blocking yourself from receiving it. Or you're convinced, it's based on some patterns in your mind, so you're convinced that there's not enough of something for you, or there's no person good for you, or like right person for you, or you're not good enough. So life is always offering you everything you want and need. If you don't feel this way, then you're enabling yourself from having something. You're really repulsing it by your limiting beliefs, by something you believe in your mind, and you are limiting yourself from that. So you need to check where you're not receiving and why, or where you're not giving and why. And it has a big relation to the migraines, because yeah, the migraine is like a state where the body is like already giving you signals like, that's too much, like maybe giving too much or receiving too much or something, you know, and the body can't handle it, and so it's not harmonized. So that was tip number 6 actually. Tip number 7 is self-love. And yeah, you have to learn how to put your own needs first, to have the energy for taking care of others, and learn how to love yourself the way you are right now. So what is self-love? Do you feel you love yourself? Do you feel loved and loved by yourself? These are big questions, and maybe it's time you ask yourself that, because it can be sometimes misunderstood, the topic of self-love. Maybe it's overused in this world, and there were times where I wasn't ready to understand it. I'm gonna start by saying what's not self-love. And self-love isn't not taking care of others and not caring what they think or do, in a way, and not caring about them if they're good or not. It's understanding what you need to do for yourself to feel good. Once you feel good, your life will feel good. Different way it can't work, because we all came here for a experience that we chose. And again, it's connected to taking the energy and taking responsibility over others. So if you dive into that and are going into this pattern and continuing in that pattern by not taking care of yourself and suppressing what your body is saying, suppressing your needs, suppressing your feelings, suppressing your emotions, then more likely it's just gonna lead to an explosion, because you're suppressing the pressure, you're suppressing something inside you. But trust me if I say it can all go easily, it can all go smoothly, it can all open up, and you can let go of the tensions from your body and allow yourself to be in a flow. It can be like that. It's not gonna be overnight, but understanding this is the way where even the people around you are gonna get the best of you. Once you understand, self-love is about valuing yourself. That's connected to self-value. That's connected to self-worth. that's connected to understanding that you're here and you matter and you're okay the way you are, and the way you are is enough, and you don't have to be doing more, or don't have to be trying for someone to love you. Once you understand you need to love yourself first, and then the things you want will start happening. Then the people you want around you to be happy are gonna start being happy, or they're gonna leave, and that's okay. You need to start understanding how to respect yourself and how to be okay with yourself in order for others in your life to feel that also. Tip number 8 is rest and integration. It's super important, and in the beginning of the journey, if we're like going, we feel like we're in a train just going somewhere, just non-stop. Nothing can stop us. Like now I had a revelation and I'm ready to go. Like I want to create my life. I want to have it all right now. Well, yes, but an important part of why we came here also is to be aware of what's happening. This brings us to stop and realize. And stopping and realizing and stopping and not doing and just being is a very important part on this journey. And as you are gonna get there in the right time. The timing is something really perfectly arranged here, and there's actually no such thing as time. It's all happening in the present moment. And yeah, so this will help you to rest and integrate what you're learning and what you're hearing, and stopping and thinking about it but not overthinking it, just letting it sink to where it needs to sink and letting it activate what it needs to activate, and not skipping the step and not skipping the phase where I'm not feeling good and I'm not comfortable with the change, because the change doesn't have to be comfortable in the beginning. Yeah, so not skipping these steps that are very essential and very important, and instead incorporating them in your journey and ordering yourself rest and integration until it becomes a natural part of your life where everything flows smoothly, so there's no need to rush and speed things up. Because if you do implement this very fast, then the changes are happening faster and faster. The time slows down for you, which is really great. So you have enough time, you have all the time you need actually, there's no rush. And with the guidance and with doing the steps and not skipping these uncomfortable steps and not skipping rest and integration, you are actually gonna get there faster. So wherever you're going, slow is the way to go. I've heard this once and it's very true. Tip number 9 is a big topic. I'm not gonna dive into it too much, but I need you to know that migraines are very connected to your sexuality, to the sacral center, to the sacral chakra, to the bottom center. It's all in the hips and the pelvis and the yoni and the centers of creativity. And once the manifestation of the pain or of, because it's not something wrong, you need to also understand that migraine happening, there's not something wrong with you, it's just you are suppressing something that can be happening for you. Your approach is too logical in a shortcut, and you're not trusting that your sexuality is a gift and has been given to you for this journey for a reason. And if you open it and embrace it, it has many gifts inside. One can be pleasure, very well. Migraines are very connected to orgasms and pleasure, and in pleasure also in the sense you need to see the different layers of this, of satisfaction. So self-satisfaction in the sense of being satisfied with yourselves and allowing yourself to feel satisfaction with who you are. Okay, so that concerns your sexuality, but it doesn't have to be sexual, if you understand what I mean. Okay, learning how to be satisfied with myself doing less or doing more or doing nothing or just being, or that I'm okay with the situation I am and taking responsibility and going and taking the steps, and I'm okay, and I'm not late for something, I'm not early for something, I'm not gonna miss out on anything. So yeah, it's a combination of these things, and the sexuality is like a big chapter of this. So tip number 11, I'm gonna read it from my notes, is learn how to trust life and understand that life is happening for you and there is a gift for you in every single situation. I love this one so much, and it's so true. The journey is basically about learning how to trust life and trusting that life is here for you, and understanding basically it's all meant to be, every single situation. And every situation is offering you a new beginning, a new reaction, a new set of boundaries, a new approach towards your life. Every single situation, and especially the triggering ones, especially the ones causing some emotions that we're not comfortable with. But if you learn how to work with your emotions in the long term, then anger is great. You can invite anger because it's protecting you. Fear is great because again it's protecting you for, and then you get with the emotion, you always get a gift of choosing how you want to react, how do you want to change, and then you can end up changing in every situation, and that's great, because not changing is being stagnant and being stuck in the past and in something that doesn't serve you, and you're limiting yourself from having more. And you came here for more. You came here to be the best version of yourself, and you can absolutely be that, but it is based on your decisions and putting in affirmations that can help you transform this, because with a migraine you don't trust life, without migraines you do. Finding a way of how you can change that and how you can start trusting life for you is, wow, gonna simplify the journey a lot, and it's gonna turn the time down again. It's gonna speed everything up, trusting that this video brought you exactly what it should have brought you, and you have right now all the information you're supposed to have, and then you'll find a new source of information, and then you'll find that, and someone will tell you that, and you will start thinking about something differently. All of this is part of the journey, and you can't basically skip a step, but you need to do the work, but not in terms of doing, but in terms of being there for yourself, understanding who you are, understanding that that's the biggest gift, that you are here. You are your biggest gift, and you are your only healer, and you are your only solution. You're your only help, but it's amazing. It's so rich if you understand you have yourself here. And I'm so grateful I can share this with you, and I can share my point of view on migraines, because a few years ago I was completely not aware of the whole world, actually. And with migraines, and thanks to migraines, because I feel like I'm, in a way, it's definitely a part of me, but it's a part of me sharing this approach and sharing this wisdom, let's say, and the information that is coming to me, and understanding the journey, understanding my own journey, and then helping others with their journey with migraines. I'm so grateful that this is possible at this time for me, and for sure I can help you see your migraines as a gift and just show you that there's a different way, there's a different approach. So definitely migraines are something that you should be looking into very closely and not taking it for granted, in terms of, oh, this is again happening for me, why is this happening to me? oh my god, I wish that pain would go. Just like changing from something that's bothering you to something, oh wow, it's here for me and I'm so grateful. And what is it telling me? How is it guiding me? And how can I transform my life to easier, better, more rich, more powerful, and having everything I want? Being happy, finding happiness, understanding what that is, finding satisfaction with myself, understanding what that is. Maybe isn't certain, or maybe you never asked yourself these questions. So yeah, the power just came back on. It's a rainy day in England, and I think the next video will be a vlog from Africa, or traveling to Africa. So I'll see you guys then, and I'm so grateful and thank you so much for the space, and have a lovely, lovely day. Bye bye.